Hello everyone. So myself Dr. Devendriya, working as a lecturer in Brunda PU College. My subject is mathematics. I am having an experience of 16 years. I worked in various institutions in Ballari. ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಗಣೇಶ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಹಾಗೂ so today we discuss the blow off, that is blueprint we have in first year mathematics syllabus. Usually everyone will think that mathematics is a very difficult subject, but for some of the students it is a very easiest subject. The reason is, so if we love the subject, if we practice the problems, for every student it will be very easy only. So that is the only one clue or suggestion I would like to give for students regarding mathematics. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಮತ್ತು SSLC ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದರೆ, ಸೊ SSLC ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು, ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು, ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು, ಸರ್ಕಲ್ಸ್, ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ಸ್, ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್, ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಜಾಮೆಟ್ರಿ, ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಪಾಲಿನಾಮಿಯಲ್ಸ್, ಕ್ವಾಡ್ರಾಟಿಕ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಇಂಟ್ರಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್, some applications to trigonometry, probability, surface areas and volumes. So these are the chapters we have already discussed in 10th standards. So why we are discussing particularly the 10th standard syllabus, or why we are recalling the 10th standard syllabus is, so there is a link connecting between 10th standard and first PUC. That is, so in first PUC syllabus, so we have totally 16 chapters, that is sets, relations and functions, trigonometry, mathematical induction, complex numbers and quadratic equations, linear inequalities, permutations and combinations, binomial theorem, sequence and series, straight lines, conic section, three-dimensional geometry, limits and derivatives, mathematical reasoning, statistics and probability. So when we observe all these chapters, there is a link connecting between first PUC and 10th standard chapters. So commonly, so firstly we observe arithmetic progressions. So arithmetic progressions will be studied in the chapter sequences and series. Linear equations will be studied in linear inequalities. Circles will be studied in conic sections. Coordinate geometry, here also, so we observe under straight lines and also as well as conic sections, and even in three-dimensional geometry, so we observe the chapter that is coordinate geometry. Next is real numbers. Some of the concepts in real numbers we used to observe in the chapter sets. Quadratic equations will be observed in the chapter complex numbers. Introduction to trigonometry. So particularly in first PUC, so when we observe all the chapters, trigonometry is the highest weightage, that is it carries 19 marks. So introduction to trigonometry and some applications to trigonometry already we have studied in 10th standard itself. That is, we knowing the concepts of trigonometry in 10th standard itself. And probability will be the chapter, the continuation, whatever the contents we have observed in 10th standard, that too in probability, the extension will be observed or studied in first PU syllabus, that is in probability chapter. And also as well as the statistics, the extension, that is some more concepts when compared to 10th standard will be included in first PU syllabus, that is particularly in the chapter statistics. Therefore, here I suggest all the students that we may be knowing out of 16 chapters, we will be knowing totally 9 chapters in 10th standard itself. That's why I told the students that particularly mathematics will be very easier in first and second PU syllabus. Now let us observe the weightage for each chapters. In the first chapter sets, it carries 8 marks. In the second chapter, relations and functions, we observe the weightage will be 11 marks. For trigonometry, totally we have 19 marks. Mathematical induction, so we have 5 marks for mathematical induction. Similarly, for the fifth chapter, complex numbers and quadratic equation, we observe 9 marks. In linear inequalities, it covers 7 marks. Permutation and combination, it covers 9 marks. Binomial theorem, it covers 8 marks. Sequences and series, so it covers 11 marks. Straight lines, for straight lines we have 10 marks. Conic sections, we have 9 marks. 3-dimensional geometry, for that chapter we have 7 marks. Limits and derivatives carries 15 marks. Mathematical reasoning carries 6 marks. Statistics carries 7 marks. Probability carries 9 marks. So when we count all the chapters weightage, that is marks, so we will be having totally 150 marks for first PU syllabus. That is, the maximum marks will be 100, and the extra marks, that is the choices we observe in mathematics paper, will be for 50 marks. So totally we will be having 150 marks. So we require to write for 100 marks, and the choices, that is extra marks we have in first PU mathematics syllabus, will be 50. Now let us discuss the first chapter, that is sets. The first topic we observe is sets. So what is the meaning of set? So ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಣಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ set is a collection of well defined objects. That is, if we collect all the natural numbers, all the odd natural numbers, vowels in English alphabet, that is, we define the term set as a collection of well defined objects. That is the definition of a set. Sets are denoted by the capital letters A, B, C, D, etc. And elements of a set are denoted by small letters A, B, C and D. Okay, so we have observed that collection of well defined objects. For example, if we consider one more example, the students of a class. That is also an example of a set. The rivers of India, that is also a collection of well-defined objects. So that is why it is an example for set. Like that, we can give many examples for the term sets. Now, we can represent a set in two ways. One is roster method or tabular method. So, and the second one is set builder method or rule method. So the difference between roster method and set builder method will be, so in case of roster method, it is also called as tabular method. So in this method, we write all elements of the set within flower brackets, and elements are separated by comma. For examples, A is equals to, so if we write the elements as we have defined that sets are denoted by capital letters. Therefore, towards left side we are denoting a set by the capital letters, and elements of a set are denoted by small letters, so or numbers. See, these are the elements of the sets. So if we write the elements of the set within the parenthesis, that is flower brackets, that type of representation we call as roster method or tabular method. So what is the definition of roster method? The method of defining, or in roster method we observe all the elements of the set within the flower brackets, and elements are separated by comma. For example, if we consider set C will be 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, that is the numbers we are writing within the flower brackets. Therefore, it is an example for roster method. Now, let us observe the second one, that is set builder method or rule method. In this method, instead of writing all the elements of a set, we describe, see the word, we describe all elements by a rule or by a property or on a statement. That is, x such that x is a natural number. So we are writing the natural numbers itself, but we represent here the term as a is equals to x such that x is a natural number. Similarly, observe the second example, b, which is equals to x such that x is equals to y square, y is a real number. So therefore, this is an example for the set builder form or rule method. Sir, why do we say that this type of examples can be considered in rule method? Suppose if this type of question appears in students, so remember one point, describe all elements by a rule. So here what is the rule we are writing? X is a natural number, and then x is equals to y square, where y is a real number. So here we are not writing the elements directly, so we are using a rule x such that x is a natural number. For example, x is a natural number less than 4. So it understood that the elements are 1, 2, 3. So x is equals to y square, where y is a real number. So if I consider y as 1, it understood that the value of y will be 1. Suppose if we assign 2, 2 square will be 4. 3 square will be 9. So like that, so in set builder forum, we represent a property or a statement or by a rule. So that is the difference between roster method and rule method. And also sets can be represented in Venn diagram method. What is a Venn diagram method? In this method, a set is described by a closed curve and elements of a set are denoted by points inside the curve. See the word denoted by the points inside the curve. For example, if we consider this type of representation, here all the elements are inside the curve, and this type of representation we call as Venn diagram method. So that is also one of the method of representing a set. The conclusion of representing a set is, so they may, if they used to give the elements within flower bracket, that must be an example for roster method. If they use a rule, or if they give a statement, or if they give a property like this, then the type of representation we call as set builder method or rule method. So if we write the elements, or if we write the points inside the curve, that type of representation we call as Venn diagram method. Now let us observe some of the notations in sets. Set of all natural numbers, we denote it by the capital N, and students may be knowing that the natural number starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. That is, the last number will be infinity. What is the meaning of infinity? So cannot be defined. Okay, so natural numbers will be denoted by capital N and the elements will be 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Whole numbers. What is the difference between natural numbers and whole numbers? The difference between natural numbers and whole numbers will be, so if we include 0 in the natural numbers, then it is nothing but whole numbers. And the third one is integers. So integers is, that is the set of all integers, we denote it by Z or I. So the difference between natural numbers, whole numbers and the integers is, so along with the 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, we include negative natural numbers. That is 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 plus or minus 3 plus or minus 4, etc., etc. That is, we denote it the integers by Z or I, and Z is equals to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 plus or minus 3 plus or minus 4, etc., etc. In case of integers, suppose if we write the symbol Z plus, so we are using these symbols in the entire the chapter, the first year and also as well as second year chapters. So Z plus stands for the set of all positive integers. When we are saying Z plus, we should consider only 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. Set of all negative integers. Set of all negative integers are denoted by Z minus, and we will consider the entries as minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, etc. Set of all non-negative integers. See, positive integers, negative integers. So here we are writing only 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Whereas in case of set of non-negative integers, we include even the number 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. etc. are nothing but non-negative integers. Now let us observe the one more set, that is set of all rational numbers. The definition of set of all rational numbers is any number which is of the form p divided by q, where denominator, that is q, should not be equals to 0, p comma q belongs to z, is nothing but the set of all rational numbers. And q dash stands for set of all irrational numbers. What is the meaning of set of all irrational numbers? So if we include square root of the value, that is square root of 2, it is nothing but a irrational number. So combining both rational and also as well as irrational numbers is nothing but set of all real numbers. So we denote set of all real numbers by R, and R is equals to union of rational and irrational numbers. Students may be knowing up to here, that is they knows the set of all natural numbers, they knows the whole numbers, they knows even integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, and also as well as real numbers. In first PUC we study one more set, that is C or Z. What is the meaning of C or Z is, so set of all complex numbers. So the definition of the complex number will be any number which is of the form x plus iy, or we can write a plus ib, where x comma y belongs to R and I is square root of -1, it is called imaginary number. So we study this topic separately in the chapter complex numbers and quadratic equations. Remember that when compared to natural numbers, whole numbers will be the bigger set. When compared to whole numbers, integers will be the biggest set. When compared to integers, rational numbers will be the biggest set. When compared to rational numbers, real numbers will be the biggest set. When compared to real numbers, complex numbers will be the biggest set. So these are the sum of the notations we used to use in the chapter sets. Students, now let us observe the types of sets. In the types of sets, the first set we observe is null set. It is also called as empty set,